Hey guys, how y'all doing? See who all we got here. People, 5 people. We want to have a talk, but I want to wait till there's a few more people. What's up, Philip? Let's see if I can get these comments to come up here. I'm having problems with my phone here. The comments are all sideways. And guys, I'm new to this, so I have no idea what to do. I added a couple of you guys as moderators because we don't want to stop anybody from using their voice. Everybody has freedom of speech, and you can say whatever you want, but keep it respectful. We don't want to have anybody in here being vulgar. What's up, Rights On? Hey, that's my man. Hey, everybody. Rights On is in the room. This guy's got a really great channel. He basically helps spread police accountability videos. He's been along for the ride here in Ironton. So the thing we want to talk about is the division between everybody in Ironton. As far as, all right, let's get down to it. So we were having trouble with a few of the guys that work at the Ironton Police Department. I'm not sure if everybody's familiar with what exactly started all this. But about 2 years ago, we were coming from my mom's house on the far end of Ironton near Colgrove. And cool. So I got a couple of you guys moderating for me. So just watch out for buttheads, Work line, what's up, man?
Turn the camera the other way.
Then there's no way. I'll have to hold it. Okay. So, if anybody's familiar with this YouTube stuff, here we go. Maybe this will work. I'm trying to figure out how to get the comments to stay on the screen. And right now I'm reading everything sideways. Okay, yeah, let's see. The only problem with this is, we don't have both of us in the video, and I don't have anything to hold the phone, unless this will hold it. Let's see. Yeah, it works.
There we go.
Maybe we can get this, maybe we can get the comments to stay on the screen. Liverpool UK, wow. Yeah, if you guys want, I hear other people doing this, hit the number 1 button and let us know where you're from. Seems like a lot of people have been interested in the stuff that's been going on. But like I was saying, we were followed by Evan McKnight about 2 weeks after we witnessed him pull into a parking spot that we had just pulled out of and open his car door and pick something up off the ground. Right after we saw him do that, we pulled into the CVS across the street, and I went to get my wallet and realized I must have dropped it outside of the car. We went back to the security videos at CVS, and it showed us walking out. Oh no, I'm sorry, at Dollar General across the street, and the security camera showed the wallet going into my pocket. Sarah wasn't carrying my wallet. When I got into the car, sometimes my shorts are loose, and it fell out of my pocket. So, there was one guy that walked out of the store after us, and he got into his car, as we were getting into our car, and he pulled out as we were pulling out. So, unless he could have made the wallet teleport, it wasn't him. And the only other person near, in the time that it took us to get back across the street was Officer McKnight. We watched him back up and then pull up by 3rd Street. If anyone's familiar with 3rd Street, I can't get the comments to stay on here, so I'm just going to have to keep hitting this button to see what you guys are saying. Huntington, West Virginia, what's up? Texas, hey, I grew up in Texas, work line. South Houston area, Pasadena. And so, anyway, back to the story. After this, Sarah goes to the police department. I have a handicapped brother that lives in Ironton. I was helping him. James, if you're watching, man, what's up? My brother's cool, man. He's He's a pretty cool dude, if anybody knows him. But she went to the police department and attempted to get the wallet back, and she was met with, cool man, near Houston. She was met with a little bit of, threatening behavior, like a little bully kind of, accusing an officer of the law of theft. You can be prosecuted. And so when she came to pick me back up, she was kind of in tears, not because of the $130 that was in the wallet, but because of the way McKnight treated her. And a couple of the other guys that were there, they kind of just back each other up. And but anyway, he followed us. About 2 weeks later, we drove past him on 3rd Street. We were heading to Ashland, and he followed us from about the Eagles Lounge, where the Eagles used to be. I think it's called the Bar now, or something like that. The Bar in Ironton, or something like that. I don't go to the bars, but he followed us from right there all the way to Colgrove, with several cars in between us and him. And he waited till all the other cars pulled off and to get behind us and run our tags. And then he pulled us over in Colgrove. There was a Colgrove cop sitting right across the street from my cousin's car lot where we were pulled over at, the place where we bought our car. So he says, "Hey, your car's not the right color. Your registration says that it's tan. It looks more silver." She was like, "I'm aware of that. I actually bought my car right here at this car lot." And then all of a sudden, he wasn't worried about the color of the car anymore. He was wondering who I was. Because when she went to the police station, they asked her who I was, and she said that doesn't matter. And so he asked me if I would identify myself, and I said, "Why? I'm the passenger." He says, "Well, you're being awfully disorderly, acting awfully disorderly." And I was like, "Dude, I'm in my car. I'm being as nice as I possibly can to you right now. I'm still trying to figure out why you pulled us over." And he said, once again, because of the color of the car. I was like, "Okay, well then write her a ticket, or you can go inside there and talk to the guy we bought the car off of. It's my cousin Kirby, and he'll tell you, the registration is legit. Or you can just look at the registration and there's the VIN number." But it went from, the initial reason for the pullover to all this escalated crap. We had like 5-6 cops on the scene for that, and at least 4 of them, including Fouch. McKnight was on the driver's side where she was at, and I had, pretty sure Akers was there. All the guys that were there were really young. Asher, Akers, McKnight, Fouch for sure, surrounding the car, and 2 of them looking in the passenger side window where I was sitting with the window rolled up, video recording on selfie mode. And they were smiling in the window. I mean, one guy was even kind of just smirking, looking all like he was mean, fixing their hair in my mirror, dude. I mean, you name it, it was retarded. So it escalated from the initial reason of the pullover to, "Well, we're just going to write you a ticket for the mask that's hanging off your window. And then have a blessed day." And all 6 cops just pack up and move out like nothing ever happened. But it was clearly an intimidation tactic.
It was retaliation.
And it was retaliation. But mainly they were trying to intimidate us. And we had a baby in the car, my great niece, and my autistic second cousin in the back seat. He was 15. And I thought it was very inappropriate. But that's what started all this. And then after that, there was just pullover after pullover. Every time we would come to Ironton, we would have a cop behind us, following us. Sometimes they didn't pull us over because they couldn't get behind us in time, and we, got on the highway or whatever. But every time they were able to get behind us,
it happened.
We've been pulled over. And they've literally made up reasons 3 of those times. 2 of the times they had reasons that checked out, but they weren't really legit. We looked into it. It's not something that they should be pulling people over for. The color of your car thing. I got a buddy that's got a truck that's like 6 different colors. He's got a door that's green, and the bed of his truck's like an orange color. It's parts from different trucks. And what do you think it says on his registration? I want to know what somebody thinks about this. I want to know what people think about the reasons why they're pulling people over. These little made up, the not using your turn signal 100 feet prior, that's complete and utter bullshit. And I'll tell you why. Because, Akers, dude, you're not RoboCop. You can't measure distance with your eyeballs. You can only tell me what you think it might have been. And suspicion's not a crime, and you can't write a ticket on suspicion alone or on your opinion. But they do. They write tickets based on opinion every day. They take your hard-earned money. Guys, look. It's going to rain all this week. I don't get to go to work because I build pools and I can't work in the rain. And so if I get a ticket today, I'm taking out of what part of my electric bill that I have saved up. And I have to pay that by next week. So if they stop me on some bogus reason just because they feel like it, and I get that ticket, my electric bill might not get paid.
Do you think that they care?
No, they don't care. They don't care.
Of course not.
It's not about us. It's about them. We're revenue to them, guys. They are, I mean, I want to say they're human beings up until the point they put that uniform on. And then they're above humans. They don't care. Our life is meaningless to them. Our well-being, whether or not we can eat or pay our bills, it means nothing to these dudes. As so long as they go home safe and they get their pockets full by the end of the day.
At any cost.
But that's not really why we're here to talk. We want to talk about, and I'm not going to make this about Chile, but I want to talk about all the people arguing and all the feuding and the Chile slamming videos that are going on because it's not about Chile, guys. This ain't about Chile. This is about Ironton. This is about holding the police accountable. Chile's just one guy, you know? If they can discredit him, he's just one guy. But what they think is that they're going to discredit Chile Castro and that everything's just going to go away. And Terry, we love you, man, but I can't for the life of me see why you're using your camera to make those pigs look like honorable, upstanding, righteous dudes that they are not. They're filthy. They're assholes, man. I've seen it in work. I want to talk about a friend of mine. I'm not going to mention her name, but Philip, I told you about this. I told a few people about this, and they're not going to talk about it because this girl has had her kids taken away by the CPS in Ironton, and it's sad. She's afraid, and it's Blankenship that's been harassing her, and one of her female friends. He pulled her over one night with her female friend, and she was a passenger. Immediately tried to get her to step out of the vehicle. She's a passenger, dude. She doesn't have to step out of the freaking vehicle, man. If she wants to, she can get out of that car and walk away. She's a passenger. You're not pulling her over. You're pulling over her friend. Why do they escalate it into criminal charges? Why do they take a traffic ticket and escalate it into a criminal charge? You should be able to contact the BMV and dispute that ticket with the BMV without having to have dudes with guns fucking standing around your car and intimidating you. That's the truth of the matter. I mean, we don't need these dudes fucking implementing their steroidal...
You should watch the F-bomb.
It's not for kids. Sorry, I had to make this not for kids. So, because, for one, I knew I was going to get upset and probably cuss a little bit. And for two, I'm drinking a beer. And I'm not going to do that in front of me and kids. Besides, I don't think any of you guys would want your kids involved in this crap. It's just horrible. So, let's talk about Chile.
Only because.
Chile's only one guy, people. He's only one guy. They think that if they can discredit Chile or come up with some horrible thing that he... So what? So what does that have to do with holding bad cops accountable? He's doing what he said he would do. I mean, I don't care what he did to the Tina girl, how he treated her, who cares? Why isn't she worried about holding the cops accountable that took her kid's life? And I'm not bashing the woman. We feel bad for her. We feel bad for you, Tina Slade. We do. But it seems like you're not too much worried about that. And your boyfriend and you guys, you mean me a mimosa? Ooh, it's just childish, dude. You're acting just like those cops. And Goo all training and posting videos about how he's going to MMA. And dude, we want the attention to stay on you, not on an MMA match, not on what Chili did when he had a TikTok account and all this crap. Guys, wake up, man. It's not about that. It's about, do you stand for change? Do you want it to change? Period. Why didn't anyone show up at the auction when... Not gonna go there. But do you stand for change? That's what it boils down to. You know, I know a lot of people are afraid of the police. I know a lot of people are afraid that if they try to succeed at something, that they're just going to fail, that no one's going to give them a shot, that they're just going to be kicked when they're down. And yeah, that's how it's been.
But it doesn't have to be.
You know, success is the ability to move from failure to failure with no loss of enthusiasm. Winston Churchill said that. So pick yourself up. Get off your couch. I don't work tomorrow. Hey, if people are going to show up for a court date, okay, afterward, let's get together, man. Let's get together. Let's join forces. Whether you like me or not. Why aren't people, if you want it to change, why aren't you protesting? Why aren't you, why isn't there someone else other than Terry Nip auditing the police in Ironton? Why doesn't people just take their phone out or their camera or whatever and just record them? Every time you see them, record them. We've been having unmarked vehicles follow us around, and they're real slippery too. They kind of pinned Sarah in the other day and was, talking on cell phones. Maybe we're being paranoid, maybe not. But I've seen a lot of government vehicles, and I've noticed maybe I'm just noticing it more now, But man, they're posted up, just waiting for you to go past them 3 miles per hour over, or with an out-of-date tag or some crap. Maybe if you got a pair of boobs, they'll cut you a break, or maybe they'll tell you to get out of the car and pat you down.
You remember the video they showed a while back? Somebody had shared what it said on the screen about a police officer saying that y'all better make sure you keep your insurance up and everything with your car up.
Yeah.
Because they're going to get those income tax back.
They said
they're going to get the stimulus payments that everybody got.
That's exactly what the cop said. Was it a commercial or something?
No,
like
I forget where it was. Somebody had shared it.
We saw something, and it was the cop saying, hey guys, make sure you got your insurance up to date. Make sure you got your tags in order, because all that stimulus money you got, we're going to get it back.
That's how they think. That's
what?
How they think.
Did anybody else see that? I cannot see the comments, man. Did anybody else see that?
Oh. Hold on.
No, I don't. And they tricked him into that. They tricked him into I've already done that 100 times. You just got to keep turning it on.
Okay.
So yeah, they tricked Chili into violating his terms of his bond, for one. And like I said, this is not about Chili, but I got the man's back, man, because he had hours when nobody else would. Nobody. And all this childish nitpicking. Come on, guys.
I didn't see anybody else jump into their feet to come and help.
We're better than that, man. Come on. I mean, really. Oh, you walked around my house in a towel. Come on, dude. I saw how many times that chick looked to the left right before she would say something. If anybody knows anything about psychology and, you know, how to tell when somebody's lying or making up a story, I'm pretty sure if you look to the right, you're remembering something, but if you look to the left, you're conjuring something up, or you're trying to come up with something that you don't already have in your head to say. Those thoughts, they're not already there unless they're memories. Those thoughts come to you spontaneously. You know?
No, we're not experts, and we can't say that for a
Well,
fact.
I tell people all the time, if you think your thoughts are yours, tell me what your next thought's going to be. You don't know because you haven't had it yet.
But we're getting off topic.
No, we're not. We're talking about what it looks like when somebody's lying.
Well,
but that's not the point. It's not the point. What does any of that have to do with police accountability? What do we? I mean, are we going to let that distract us from the goal? Or I mean, what's going on? Exactly, Philip. Exactly. That's what we're saying. And I'm not talking bad about Tina Slay. You know, like I said, I feel sorry for her situation.
I do. I really do.
She should be devoting more energy. And, you know, I think she's being used by these chili bashers that are literally using this guy's name because he's growing on YouTube to get views of their own. And, you know, these guys, this Blue Bacon dude, I watch his channel and he dresses up like a freaking Sherlock Holmes and puts wizard hats on and whatever else. I don't know. He's an entertainer. He doesn't have nothing else to make a video about that's going to get him any good views. They're just clinging on to Chili's name. They're leeching it off of his name. And that's, you know, we don't take sides. I don't want nothing to do with any beef anybody has with Chili DeCastro. I've already had my life threatened, you know, by a guy, and body language, exactly. That's what I'm saying. But I
think end of the day, it's about everybody that has been screwed over or railroaded for nothing. And I don't know how many tried to go and get help or tried to do anything about it prior to Chili coming. But for 4 months after the CBS incident, I was over there trying to get an interview with Pam, trying to talk to Pam, tried to go to the mayor. I sent email after email after email. Nothing.
The mayor's assistant told us that the mayor wasn't above talking to the people. Of course not, dude. You're the mayor. But he was supposed to have contacted us. And we were told that several times. We went there, 5 times over a period of like 3 months. Every time we had a day off of work or it was the weekday and we could catch him in his office, he's never in his office. And if he is, he's hiding in there and he doesn't want to address any kind of problems going on in the town. He's not really a mayor, guys. He's just a guy appointed as mayor. He's making money off the gig. He's not making any change happen. The streets are horrible in Ironton.
How long has it been going on? The majority of us have lived in this area our whole life. Not so much as a nothing. How many times have you all said, "Oh man, you know how the police are, man. You know what they're gonna do." Well, yeah, but why did it continue to happen? Because they weren't held accountable.
And another thing, I keep hearing people tell me, "Man, you know what I do? I just pay the ticket. You know, I just pay the ticket." Are you gonna listen? If some dude's lying and you know he's lying, you're gonna let him take money? That's just like reaching into your pocket and taking your money and saying, "I'm just gonna make something up and they'll believe me over you. You won't be able to do anything about it. But just make sure you go pay that ticket, guy. I swear, I promise, I saw you do it." Come on, man.
Lie.
That's why we got dash cameras.
It got to that point. It had to happen. It had to happen.
James Akers is the reason why we went and got a dash camera. And I'm going to be honest, guys, we let the wallet thing go. We weren't going to bring it up. We told Chili that since we can't prove that, we're not going to bring it up. You know, if we're going to try to sue these dudes for the way they treated her, and we're not going to bring that up because we can't prove it. We let it go. we took a punch in the chin on that one. But you know, we told him everything. We wanted to tell him everything in chronological order as it happened, what we thought started the situation, and regardless of what started it, you know, lawful order, shut up. Come on, dude, that's unacceptable. That's unprofessional and unacceptable. And for McKnight, when you show up on the scene and someone, first thing you ask is, do I need to cuff them up? Dude, we weren't doing nothing wrong. We weren't breaking the law. We were having I thought, a civil conversation as nice as I could possibly be. Like,
given the circumstances.
People know me, man, and I'm not very patient with assholes. And this dude was being an asshole. He told my fiance to shut her mouth right in front of me. Would anybody else put up with that? If it weren't a cop, would you put up with that? Yeah, we saw that work line. I saw that, and if it was anybody other than a cop, would you let him put his hand in your car and say, hey, tell your fiance, shut her mouth. She keeps bumping in over top of me while I'm talking. And me, here's exactly how he said it. And me, don't try to be talked over to. They get so pissed off over such little shit. They're triggered like so easily. Are y'all dudes pumping the roids or what's going on, man? On the juice? Akers did the same thing. That's a traffic. That's unacceptable, guys. Grow up, man. Grow up. That's for the police in Ironton. Grow up. Not one cop even turns his head when we drive past him in Kentucky over here. And we've been pulled over here before, but for legit reasons. And the cops are assholes here too, but they're not stalking us. They're not going out of their way to try to intimidate us just because they don't like us. They don't even bat an eye when we pass them, and our car stands out like a sore thumb. There's a giant dent in the front of it. We're missing a headlight. we can't drive at night because, you know, can't fix our headlight. And our female friend, she was taken to the Ironton Lawrence County Jail, and she was strip searched by a male officer. And she's kind of young and good looking, you know. She's not ugly. She's good looking. And they told her to bend over and spread her cheeks so they can look up her butthole. A male officer. And I am going to find out who that male officer is, and I'm going to call him out. And we're going to help her file a complaint. And I don't know. She don't want to do anything about it because she's scared because the CPS has her kids. Because they took her kids away over the incident. Because of her friend that she was riding with. Her car was broke down and she was having this friend of hers give her a ride. And this friend of hers was having Blankenship stalk her. And so she got pulled over, and Blankenship told him to both get out of the car, and he went to pat her down or something like that. And she was like, dude, why are you being such a perv? He slammed her head off the hood of her car, off of her friend's car. Broke like 3 or 4 of her teeth right here. Like all these teeth are missing because he broke her phone on purpose because she was trying to record him. And you notice Chance Blankenship, he's the only one that's not standing there swaying back and forth, playing with their beard, displaying psychotic behavior because they know they're being watched and they can't do the ugly things that they want to do to people because they got to watch their P's and Q's. He's the only one, you know. I think that, he looks like a teddy bear, but the way he acts is just scary, man, to me.
Rules for them, but not for me. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. That is exactly what it is. And you think it's going to get any better? Do you think that, y'all, I get overwhelmed with it. I'm a very empathetic person. I care about people. Whether I know you or not, I do try to treat other people how I want to be treated. I've said this before a million times. I'm not perfect and I've made mistakes. But I'm human. Those cops, above anything else, before that badge goes on, you're human. And can you honestly say at the end of the day that you felt like you were proud of the job that you did when you're out doing the people the way that you are because you have a badge and a gun? It's funny to them.
And
they
we
love
know
it.
more. We know
They
more.
love it.
They've done worse, trust me. And if any of them has wives, McKnight, if you have a wife, dude, shame on you. Yeah, we know about that, dude. I got a picture of you. And I'm not going to share it with everybody because I don't want to embarrass you, man.
It's scary to think how much
I wouldn't do that to a person.
has been said. All the things that they're doing to people, and nobody cares about any of it. None of them.
I know they solicit prostitution. I know that for a fact. I know a lot of people in Ironton.
That doesn't make your stomach churn? It doesn't make you sit back there and say, man, I pleaded for help because I know how they are. And I know that they were not just doing it to me. I know a lot of other people were being targeted too. But when you kind of sit back and you think about it, I mean, nobody is going to come and help. Like, you're grasping at straws for help out of a situation.
Sarah was crying. There was 2 nurses standing outside of a nursing home right after Chance Blankenship opened her car door and grabbed her by her arm and tried to pull her out of her car. She stiffened up and said, "No, get your supervisor here right now and we'll go from there." And she was yelling for the 2 nurse chicks to help her, and he looked over and noticed him, and he let go of her. When she went to complain about it to Pam, Pam said, "If that had been a more seasoned officer, things wouldn't have went so well for you. And
How
you
was I
know,
supposed to
you can
take that?
file a complaint, but we can also arrest you for filing a false complaint." Very standoffish, very intimidating. Dude. How would you feel if somebody treated your wife that way, or your daughter, or, you know, how would that make you feel? Pam, you know, you have a niece that works at a gas station that I frequent every morning on the way to work most days. And I'm really nice to her. I know she's your niece. I would never be disrespectful. You know? She told someone, and I'm not saying this is true, but this is rumors. You know, there's a lot of rumors going around about me with the whole chili hating community. That I'm a meth dealer and that chili gets meth from me. And all. Dude, I've heard it all. Donnie Roberts is telling people that someone cut a cat's head off and threw it at his wife where she works, and that the 2 guys were arrested, yet there was nobody in jail for it. It wasn't in the paper. It was a lie. He had a whole community of chili haters talking about it. I saw the screenshots. We have a friend that talks to all of them. I saw messages saying that, oh, the 2 guys that did it were somebody in TJ's crew. I have a crew? Wait. So I have a crew now. A posse of gangsters that goes out and does my bidding for chili. Like I would go out of my, like, you know, like, you know, it sounded a lot like Beth Risk's story about, you know, the cat and the way they threw the cat over her fence and made the comment about dead
Don't say it.
Pootie Tat when she came into work.
But
Wish I could
aside from that, you know, a lot, y'all, this stuff weighs so heavy on my heart, so heavy, not just for myself, but for all of us, because, I mean, it makes me, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. I went to everybody that I knew to go to for help, and I was turned away and laughed at.
Literally laughed at.
I mean, what do you do? There wasn't nobody within 100 miles in every direction that would even talk to me. That's like,
you know,
it's like somebody walking by and seeing you get your ass beat, knowing that it's going on, and then coming to you afterwards and saying, "Oh, are you okay? I'm so sorry that happened. Why didn't you help?"
Well, 9 times out of 10, people don't know what's going on when a cop's got somebody pulled over. But they should stop and record, because you could save that person's life.
But you know right from wrong, and if you know something's going on that you know shouldn't be going on.
I get it.
Those
That's
cops,
the thing. When you see a cop have
they
someone pulled over, you stop. You stop and you ask the people that they have pulled over, is everything okay? Do you need me to record? Because you might save that person's life.
That's what this world has
Or
come to.
keep them out of a fucking cage where they put animals. Like, we're not animals, man. We're people. We don't want to be taken out of our everyday routine, slammed on the ground and thrown in jail because we don't agree with you, because we hurt your feelings, because you're a public servant, man. Servant. It goes like this, guys. God, right? People, us, right? Then you have the government under the people, because the government is there for the people. And then under the government, you have public servants, government officials. So you see, the cop is the lowest ranking individual on the scene when he pulls you over.
But they forgot.
It goes God, us, the government, and then you. You worked for us. And guess what, dude? Guess what?
We're pissed.
Guess what?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
thank God Chili DeCastro came up here, because what he did was he showed everybody that you can walk right up to a cop. And as long as you got a camera rolling and they know,
They're going to act accordingly.
fuck off, dude. Who are you? You're a nobody. That's who. You're a clown. I think they deserve that pep talk. It made me feel so good inside to see him talk to those dudes like that, knowing that if I would have walked up in there and did the same thing, camera or not, they know that not that many people are going to see that video, and eventually it'll go away. Because Ironton is like this place that you just end up, and you just, if you're from here, I've been all over, man. I've been all over the country. I've been to a couple other countries. You just want to stay here. It's quiet.
Nothing goes on here. There's nothing here for anybody.
If it weren't for the corrupt officials here and the drugs, it would be a great place to raise a kid. I love it. I love the wilderness here. We go out to the lake. I mean, it's great. It's great. But, I mean, everywhere. It's everywhere. The cops are just out of control. You guys, you're not... I heard Chili saying the thing about Fallujah. That's exactly what they act like, man. They're gearing up like they're going to war out here in the streets of Ironton. And who's out here shooting guns, man? Who's out here running around with AK assault rifles? It's quiet. Even the people that are doing drugs, they're just doing them in their house. They're sticking to their... I don't see people out in the streets freaking prostituting in Ironton. I don't see that. I mean, I don't see it. And I think you guys are just mad because there's not more going on in the town, and you want to create stuff. You want to create drama. You want to escalate everything. You're supposed to take de-escalation training for that. I think that every cop should go through a psychological evaluation before he's allowed to carry that gun or even hold a taser. Because he was going to tase her because she thought he was going to shoot me. He dropped the gun clip. And I tried to stand on my own feet. The day she got cuffed up by McKnight, he told her, stand up. And before she could even stand up, he grabbed her by both her shoulders and stood her up. Then he's like, anything going to poke me or anything? She was wearing tight pants. You could see you could see right through him. He just wanted to put his hands on her. And that's your cousin, dude. Shame on you. We found out. That's your second cousin, man. Your dad is her cousin. She was around when you were running around in diapers. She probably was really good to you. She probably babysitted you or took care of you at one point.
I don't think I ever did.
She cares about
but
people
still,
like that. She would do that. She would take care of you if she has to. We might not have nice clothes or a nice car, but this woman right here would give you the shirt off of her back and wear the one with holes in it just so you can have a nice shirt to wear to a job interview.
The girl we met in Columbus, and I took the shoes off my feet.
She traded this girl. Oh, they were in a bad spot. They're doing better now. They got on disability channels. But yeah, there was a woman at the bus station in Columbus. We were on our way back from Texas, and we just had a really raw deal in Texas. We were out $32,000, and we were stranded in Texas for 2 weeks. Luckily, I have a brother in Galveston. And Billy, if you ever watch this, dude, thanks for putting us up. But Lisa, dude, it was absolutely hell being in the house with you. It was hell, guys. I'm not gonna lie. My brother Billy is awesome though. But when we got back,
It was a lot.
We had to clean up after a lot that
It was a lot.
was going on here while we were gone, and
You know,
we dealt with CPS and all that stuff, and it was bad. But we came back from it, and but you know, every time it just seems like if you don't have a lot of money, you're just an easy mark for these guys because they know you can't afford a good lawyer. They know.
I'm getting in my feels.
But yeah, she gave a woman the shoes off of her feet. It was our last bus stop. It was Columbus, Ohio, and then it was a straight shot home. It was Ashland, Kentucky, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
We had to find a ride from Ashland. I can't remember how we get from Ashland.
I think Dave ended up coming and getting us.
Well, yeah, he did. And
Yep.
Yeah, surprise for us. That was awesome.
Yep.
Thank you, Dave. My buddy Dave. The friends that we do have, they're very few, but they're really good friends, and I trust them with my life. I don't surround myself with people. For one, I don't surround my people with people that use meth and stuff like that because they're not their self. You know, it's like there's a demon in them, and I don't trust. I don't trust that. You know, I've seen really good people go down the wrong path, and it hurts to see it, but I won't surround myself with it. We stay away from everybody that we know that's, you know, chose the drug path, and I'm not perfect. There was a time when I did drugs. I have a colorful past. I've got a felony on my record, drug trafficking, aggravated drug trafficking. I used to sell my prescription pills. That's how a lot of people get by in Ironton. There's nothing there for you, man. But we wanted to make this video just to tell people, like, the petty stuff, you know, the people feuding, whatever, don't take sides. Don't take sides. Don't, you know, jump on the freaking chili hate bandwagon just because someone said he did this to them or that to them. If you're about police accountability and you want to see cops held accountable and you think the system needs to change, then back that guy up, man. Who else is doing that?
We're not saying that you have to go and stand right beside of him and act the way that he acts.
If you're an auditor,
put that light on them.
If you're an auditor and you live anywhere around here, Michigan, one of the neighboring states, and you're talking smack about this dude, then why don't you come here? Why don't you come here and put a camera on him? And when I'm not at work, I plan to take my camera out there so I can go live now. Thanks to you guys coming and subscribing to my channel.
Thank you very much, by the way.
Like and subscribe. Like and subscribe. You know, we're not rich. We don't have the resources. You know, we don't have the people with the resources to back us up. But Chili does. He does. He's got people behind him. And I don't know what the deal is. I don't know if it's just jealousy or just people don't like being talked to the way he talks to them. You know, he's an intense guy. I've dealt with it. He's an intense guy. I wouldn't want him to live in my house, but I'll call him a friend. Just like any one of you guys. You're all potential friends to me because
I was trying to
I don't spend my time freaking hating people and looking for reasons to hate people, and that's not what we do, people. We pick our brother up and we hold our brother accountable.
Shawnee, everyone has a past, whether or not you choose to. That's exactly it. That is exactly it. And to take it on a more personal thing.
I need to stay in here if I want it. Just there we go. Hey, I figured it out.
You know, I have to think about how I want to share this with you guys because it's hard for me, for one, and for two, I don't want people to use it against me, because they will, or they'll find some way to do it. But I have 3 children. I have a daughter that just turned 18, and I have a set of twin boys that just turned 17. I traveled a really dark road for a long time. I did, and at one point in my life, I chose things over my kids that I shouldn't have. We're human. You get pushed to a point in your life that you feel like, you know, you just want to be numb. You don't want to have to deal with the things that are going on in your life.
Who's Pandyland? Pandyland says, y'all don't realize how many times y'all saved me and the girls just by taking a few minutes out of your day to help us. I'm not sure who Pandyland is, but thank you for that.
I promise I don't need anybody to tell me where my flaws are or where I've fucked up, because I look in the mirror every day. Before TJ and I got together, I'd been married for almost 15 years. And I don't know how many people would know him from the area. His name's Gideon Page. He's from Greenup area, and he had a twin brother as well, named Gabe. And then Gideon and I had twins, and they all had the same birthday. Coincidentally, I don't know how that happened, but it really did. And not only that, my baby sister has twin girls, so don't drink the water in our family, because you will have twins.
Don't drink the tap water, period, guys. It's bad. Especially not here.
But
distilled water, please, please. I won't even cook my ramens with the sink water here.
So, kind of back to, you know, I've seen perspective from both sides of the fence. I've been on the addict side of the fence, and now on the sober side of the fence, climbing up on, I think, 10 years now. Anybody that struggles with addiction or knows anybody that's struggling with addiction, I don't think any one of us woke up one day and said, you know what, I think I'm going to try out addiction. I'm going to lose everything I have, money, I'm going to lose my kids. I think I'm just going to try that and see how that works. That's not.
Right on, right on.
That's not how it happens. And then lo and behold, you got all the people in your face that you went to for encouragement and support that talk down to you and make you feel worse than you already do. And you know, if you don't want it for yourself, it's not going to work. It's just not going to work unless you want it for yourself. And it takes a long time to get to that point. But I do empathize, very much so.
It's America.
Very much so.
This is America, guys. The only people that haven't tried drugs in this country are the ones that have enough money to, well, and we don't even know for a fact that they don't. They've just never been, they've never had to face any kind of consequences, so they don't know. But yeah, it's amazing how many people are commenting here. You know, I've been through that. We're human. But everybody deserves to be treated fairly.
Regardless of that.
Or at least how you treat people. They should treat you the same. You know, you're not always going to get that. But, you know, when someone is put in a position, in official capacity, and people look to them for help, for, you know, if there's a domestic or an argument, and and a cop shows up 9 times out of 10, or 7 times out of 10, I'm going to be realistic, a cop he'll beat the person up that called him for help. You know, they don't have the mental capacity, some of these guys, to be carrying guns around. You know, in Canada, I was in Canada. They don't carry guns. Uh, you know, you come right back across the border into America, and they've got AR assault rifles, German Shepherds, and they man. But the Canadian the what do they call immigrant border patrol or whatever.
Oh, I have no idea. Customs or something like
Yeah,
that.
customs something. But they were nice. They were cool people. They had this impression that America hates Canada or something, and they were kind of, you know, standoffish at first, but they grew on us real quick. We you know, but they didn't have guns. They didn't have guns that they wanted to try out. You know, like, oh, you just can't wait to test this cool little toy you got.
Right.
That's what they do. You saw those cops gather around that guy. He had his hands up. If you guys watched the Castro's videos, you watched that. The guy had his hands up. Man, I felt bad for that dude. Right after they shot him in the back of the head, he literally looks at the camera, and you can see the just surprise on his face. Like, oh my God, they literally just shot me.
That's what we're up against.
Those dudes were vested up, booted up like they were going to Iraq to freaking throw bombs at people, and they just couldn't wait to use those new toys that the tax-paying dollars paid for. Fix the streets. Dude, Brookside, Alabama, they just bought a freaking tank. It's smaller than Ironton. They got a town tank now. That's what the tax-paying dollars are paying for. And they're scamming you for your money. Those court systems are, they're so rigged up. I want you to show them the what they sent you in the mail. So, okay, so Blankenship wrote her a ticket for he tried to say she ran a stop sign. The judge decided that she didn't, but or that he couldn't tell that she didn't stop behind the line.
Because there was no line.
There was a crosswalk. But in the city ordinance, it says that you have to stop at the nearest line, and if not, at the nearest line on the crosswalk, and if not, the nearest visible, you know, to the curb. But she stopped completely. Their argument was, oh well, you know, it looks like here from this dash camera that the front of her car is over the crosswalk. We went back and took a video, and we parked closer to the crosswalk according to where the corners were on the car. We took a video, and it's on my YouTube page. You can go look at it. It says optical illusion. I get out of the car, and I walk around, and I show you that I'm 2 feet away from it. But from inside of the car, it looks like the nose of the car is at the farthest line of the crosswalk. But the judge would, McWhorter, yeah, because we were supposed to have Waldo, and I don't know what happened to him. But McWhorter wouldn't let us present that in court. But he let the prosecutor over and over and over play the part of the video where you can hear her reinitiating her turn signal, you know. The turn signal, if you just barely touch that wheel, you know. And we have a what's it called? The sway bar. We have a sway bar link that's messed up on our car right now. It pops and the tire's kind of wobbly sometimes, and it kicks the turn signal off. But you can hear her reinitiating it, and they were trying to say that was her turning her turn signal on. You couldn't hear it before. You couldn't hear it because she was talking loud. She was irate. This guy's following me. You know, she was cussing. She was mad. He stalked her around God knows how many streets. Just at one point, he went up, turned right, and came back down the same street. Literally turned around in the middle of the road to come back to see if she was still sitting there. And then try to play dumb like, I wasn't following you. I patrol these streets all the time. I'm just doing my job. Come on, dude. Your job is not to terrorize people. It's not to tell women to get out of their cars so you can put your hands all over them. You're a slime ball, dude. You're a dirt ball.
Never in a million years would I think
what a
that
piece of crap.
They say everybody has their 15 minutes of fame, but never in a million years would I dream that I was part of, I don't know, much needed change after, after dealing with all the crap every time I go over there. I mean, for 2 years, they would follow us. Every time I went over there. Every time. And I know how they are. I've lived here my whole life. And every time I'd go over there, I'd just be like, Lord, please don't let them get behind me today. Just let me make it. Let me make it where I need to go.
Do. Since I got those cameras, I hope they do.
And
they
have
don't
that,
always end well.
That butterfly in your gut as soon as you see him. And like now, if they get behind me, even though I'm legal beagle, I know I'm doing nothing wrong, but because I know what they do anyways, I literally I have to pull off and stop. There's no way, because I start shaking like a leaf on a tree because I know what they're capable of.
She takes medicine now for the PTSD.
It blew my mind that if the allegations that were made against those officers were made about anybody else not holding office, how many people would be lined up to take their dig or stab at them to make sure they went to jail for it? But because they're police, it's okay.
Yeah, work line. Yeah, we've talked to him in person on a video, and he's a pretty cool guy, man. He hit me to a couple things about some things, root words, and what certain words mean and why they're implemented and why they. Yeah, dude, we're dealing with Freemasons here, guys. We're dealing with. I'm not going into that because that is like such a long conversation. I posted a video of a guy that got famous from X Factor, and he got into the Freemasons, and he didn't like what he was learning, and he broke his oath to tell everybody what he knows and what he found out. And a lot of people are blind to it. They're like, "Oh, you're crazy. That's conspiracy theory." No, dude. There's Mason Lodge on every freaking corner. And for you guys to tell me, "Oh, my uncle's a Mason. He goes to church." Blah blah blah. Your uncle worships Lucifer, man. So take that for what it is, or believe what you want, man. But I know what I know.
If you want to commit crimes, just become a cult first. Yeah, no doubt. It's not funny. It really isn't funny, y'all. It's scary.
We're not
it's
dealing.
It's scary. You know what's coming. You know what the future holds, and you know what has to happen in order for prophecy to be fulfilled.
Yeah,
we already all know it.
They're gonna implement some stuff, guys, and I hope everybody's
But until
ready.
then, I just can't. I can't.
I want to read something. Can I read something?
Absolutely.
I want to read something, guys.
Absolutely.
This is Ephesians 6:12. Okay, it says, "For our struggle is not against flesh and blood, but against the rulers, against the authorities, against the powers of the dark world, and against the spiritual forces of evil in heavenly realms." That's a passage from the Holy Bible. Whether you're Christian or not, or whether you believe in God or whatever, that's facts right there. We're not dealing with just people here. We're dealing with seats of authority, power-hungry animals that just want to put their hands on you and just rough you up and lock you in a cage. And they don't care if 10 years out of your life is wasted behind bars. They'll justify it by saying you were a bad person. There's no such thing as a bad person out there, man. Everybody has a heart. Everybody has a heart. Everybody needs a chance. And if you've done wrong, you need a chance to you should be given a chance to do better. Absolute power corrupts absolutely. That is true. In most cases, that is true. But I believe there can be good cops. But the only thing that stops me from that thought is that, you got good guys that are in police departments and they're watching these bad guys do shit and they're letting them they're not holding their brother accountable. You're just as guilty, man. You're guilty by association. So in a way, they're all bad because we know there's bad cops in every department. So if they're still there, if they haven't lost their job after how many times they violated somebody's rights or used excessive force or lied on a police report, Don't take up for them, man. Hold them accountable. Kick them off the force. They shouldn't be on the force if they're lying. Guys, my cat's going crazy, this dude.
He's jelly. Come
He's
here,
not getting
Slapper.
attention. Come here, buddy.
He's jelly. Super jelly.
Yeah. I got a pet.
Aww.
He gets beat up every time he goes outside. Poor guy.
He don't care. He'll come in, he'll up, go right back out the next day.
He's got thumbs, though.
Anyways,
But that's what we're dealing with, man.
that's what we're up against.
And it don't matter what side you want to be on. If you want to hold the police accountable, then root for whoever's doing that. Whoever. Even if you don't like the person. You know, I can honestly say I watch a lot of auditors that I really don't like their attitude, the way they act. You know, some of my favorite guys are, I want to say, Bay Area Transparency, San Joaquin Valley. He's
San
pretty.
Joaquin Jr.
He don't really audit very much anymore. San Joaquin Jr. Yeah, he's cool. He's good. I watched Direct D for a long time, but then I started seeing him in these chats and just, hey, it's childish, man. You're better than that, dude. We watch your channel, man.
All the time.
We subscribe.
I love
We're
it.
subscribed.
I love it.
At one point, I would tell other people to subscribe, but when you start acting like a jackass and just, yeah, come on, man. We want to see more people involved in Ironton. You know, and I would assume that at least 10 out of the 40 people that are here are from Ironton. And you wouldn't be watching, you know, if the police hadn't at least done you dirty once or twice. Billy Lawrence, man, I don't know. You know, yeah, I kind of do, because I see what's going on. I see what's unfolding, and he's not being very honorable, that's for sure. Judge Waldo, he, you know, I was in court once, and this woman, her name was Rag. Her last name was Rag. And she wasn't present for court that day, and he made a comment, well, maybe she's on her rag. And had the whole courtroom laughing at this chick's last name. She wasn't there. I don't think that's very honorable. I think that's really childish. I've never seen it. I mean, I've seen judges do some pretty childish things, and I see people's feelings control the way they act more than their responsibility to uphold the Constitution. No, man. No. You're right. You're right, Lonnie. You're right, dude. I believe that wholeheartedly. I don't think that, you know, and I'm not going to sit here and call every cop a dirty pig. And I mean, you know, some people have just had experiences.
That taste of power.
Well, that's not what I was going to say. Some people have had experiences that will not allow them to say that there is a good cop out there, because they've never had an experience with a good cop. You can only go by experience. And about the power, yeah.
I mean,
They get big-headed.
they're teaching our children to call 911 for help. The last time I called 911, they hung up on me because the other officer said, oh, I'm here, disregard that, everything's under control. Click.
Yeah.
They do what they want and they get away with it.
And cops have murdered people.
And got away with it.
Cops have been prosecuted and sentenced to prison over murder and rape. Highway patrolmen pull people over and rape and murder them. And they get away with it for a time. There was a cop, I can't remember where he was from. I think he was from Texas or something. He shot his wife. And the other cops took up for him, and they lied for him. They tried to cover for him. There was 2 good cops in that department that stood up and said, no. And, yeah, they held him accountable. Good for you guys. He got what he deserved. He tried to kill that poor woman. Left her for dead. Then tried to make it look like a suicide. The only way they caught him was down the road when, I don't know who was investigating it, BCI or something, when they found out that he lied about a bag of clothes. that was at his house that he said that he didn't have or something. And yeah, I'm sure he's in prison now.
Speaking of stuff like that, how many people do you think have overdosed and you knew for a fact that something wasn't right, that you know, regardless of the circumstances, or you know, something involved around that circumstance, something just didn't seem right, something was going on, and couldn't quite put your finger on it, but you knew that person they wouldn't do that. Yeah, they, you know, they'll get messed up from time to time or whatever, but you know, to take it as far as to take their own life in OD or something like that. What I'm getting at is that
I don't know, man. Not really, Carolyn. Not really. I mean,
they're supposed to treat overdoses as a well, how they say it. They should treat it like a homicide. They should treat it like a homicide, and you know, if there's foul play afoot, they'll figure it out, right? Okay. Well, my kid's dad, Gideon, passed away in January.
no investigation.
4 days before my birthday. And we'd been split up for quite a long time. TJ and I have been together almost 5 years. But we remained cordial. TJ and I would go over and clean his house for him. He was diabetic.
He lost a leg.
And he'd already, you know, he was struggling already as it was.
Lost a few fingers, and he couldn't get around very well. I don't know anybody else that would help their fiance's ex, you know.
But he did. And it was because you know, that's the boys' dad.
And he caused a lot of problems for us. I wanted to be mad at him, really, but I couldn't stay mad at him. I watched the guy deteriorate, and
it's hard to watch.
Couldn't do it. Those boys, you know, that means more because petty differences, sometimes they're at the bottom of the list. You should just put that shit behind you and worry about the most important thing. Worry about what means more.
Integrity.
Yeah, have some integrity. Man.
Do the right thing, even when nobody's looking. But I knew something wasn't right with those circumstances because, one, the people that were in the room with him had all of his belongings.
His phone, his wallet, his bag, his prosthetic leg that he can't move without. Everything. His diabetic kit, all this. They sent pictures of his stuff to her boys via messenger, including his phone. And then when they finally got the stuff back from the guys, and they had to threaten them and all kinds of stuff with the law and everything, the phone was the only thing missing. They said they didn't have it. They never did. But we had proof that they did because there were messages, there were pictures that were saved that they sent the boys. And we turned this information in to Aaron Bollinger, the head investigation at the Sheriff's Department in Ironton. He was the one. They were the ones that showed up. And there was no investigation.
Nothing.
They're supposed to treat every overdose or every situation as if it were a homicide. That's per their policy. Read up on it. The hotel clerk that worked there, she came in and said that she found him unresponsive. Alive, but unresponsive. And she gave him Narcan. Now, if anybody knows what Narcan is, it's something you give someone to come out of an overdose for heroin or opiates. And she gave it to him. And, you know, if you're not overdosing and you take that, it could kill you. So maybe she killed him. But they didn't investigate. That's the point. There was no investigation. And we got this snobbish, smart-aleck attitude from him when we called him to tell him about the people that he already knew.
He already knew who they were.
He knew that these people left that room, left the hotel room with all his belongings, including his limb his leg. And they were told that they couldn't come back in the room by the police that were there. But when the police found out who they were and that they had all his stuff and that they left the room before he overdosed or passed away or whatever, they should have investigated those two people. And I'm not going to say their names, but we're still, we're still fighting for it. Nothing's being done. Nothing.
And I don't care who you are.
You get more effort out of a freaking traffic ticket in Ironton than you do a possible homicide. Because what money are they going to get out of it? It's just more paperwork, more work. They don't want to mess with it. To them, it's just one more drug addict off the street. Whoop-de-doo, he was a dopehead. He deserved it. I mean, that's how they think. They look at us as freaking revenue.
Narcan won't cause overdose. Oh, we know that.
I didn't say it would cause overdose.
We know that.
But if you're not overdosed and you give someone Narcan, and they're in such poor health as this man was, it could possibly kill you. You don't just go up to somebody who's unresponsive and just give them Narcan. You don't do that. But, we're kind of off the point. We wanted to make a video to try to bring people together because, it's like all these little petty differences and all these little, this person saying this about that person and whatever. Look at the actions that are being taken. Judge someone not by their words, but by their actions. What's Tina Slade doing for Ironton? She said, oh, he's just terrorizing those poor people in Ironton. What poor people did Chili terrorize? The police? I thought the police killed your son. Who's he terrorizing? The officials? The ones that sit on their asses and don't do shit and then want to... Don't get me started. I'm not anti-government. I'm not anti-police. I just want to see people do their jobs and have some integrity. And, you're wearing that outfit and those little medals and that badge and all that crap like you're some kind of big hero. Act like it. Act like a hero, man. Goo, you were actually cordial to me. You were really nice. When you started talking about chaos and all this crap, I pegged you for a Freemason. And you let my fiance stay in handcuffs for a little over a half an hour while you justified the little punks that put her in them for no reason. So I don't have any respect for you, dude. Actually, I hope you lose that fight. if there's a fight, I hope you lose it. Me personally, I just want to see a cop get beat up, man. Not true. Not true. But all that training you're doing and stuff like that, I don't know, man. Seems like you're trying to distract people.
To everything.
Oh, okay, Lonnie. Okay. I see you on here. You're just trying to prove me wrong, just saying all this stuff. And I'm going to let you stay, dude. I'm not going to block you. I'm not going to kick you off. You have the freedom of speech, guy.
Wait.
But it seems like you're a bootlicker, and I'm not. And so let's just be on separate sides, right? Dude. Okay. I was wrong.
What?
Anybody know that? Will Narcan kill you? If you're in poor health and you have diabetes and you have breathing problems and you have heart problems and somebody gives you Narcan and you're not overdosing on drugs, could it kill you? The man had severe heart problems. We don't know. That's the point, Lonnie. We don't know, man. We don't know what killed him, and neither do the police.
Because they didn't investigate.
Because they didn't investigate. Everybody has their day in court. Everybody has a chance to defend themselves. I'm not saying anything bad about anybody that hasn't done anything bad. There's an old saying, men don't differ much as to what things they call evil. They differ greatly as to what evils they deem acceptable. If you're not a cop and you break the law, you're going to go to jail probably, or you're going to get money taken from you. But if you're a cop and you break the law, what? Nothing. I watch cops run red lights every day. I watch cops going 90 miles per
They
hour
get-
down the highway in a 35, boom, right past me with no emergency lights on.
They get pats on the back and a promotion.
I watched the cop come down a one-way street, freaking 60 miles per hour in a 25 mile per hour in town, to come put handcuffs on my fiance because she was talking when another cop didn't want her to talk. Boo-hoo, man. Your opinion, might not be the same as mine, Lonnie. But, yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Maybe he did have an allergic reaction. Maybe the Narcan's what killed him. Maybe not. But we know that he got his stuff. He was robbed. All his belongings were stolen from the hotel room by the two people that were with him. And he had just gotten out of the hospital that night. They picked him up from the hospital, took him to a hotel. He used his money to buy a hotel room and let them stay with him. They left with all his things, including his leg. And next thing you know, he was dead. And they had his phone. It just seems funny to me. Like, okay, if he has a phone, he can't call for help, right? No investigation whatsoever. No investigation. Good job, Lawrence County Sheriff's Department. And that's not the only story like this that we know. But I'm not telling someone else's story.
It's not our story.
I encourage you to tell your story. You tell your story. And if you don't have a platform to get people to hear it, hey, there's 45 people here, by tomorrow, 300 and some people will have watched this. Contact us. Get a hold of me. I'm not chilly. I might not be able to raise $5,000 for you.
But we will listen to you, and we will encourage you and help in any way that we can.
And other people will too.
And if we can't, we'll start reaching out and do what we can, because it's not gonna get much better. Not unless we do something. And we're not just going up against one or two, a lot. But I'll stand for something before I fall for anything.
Shady Nation Gaming. Pretty sure your sister knows. My mom. So, cool. Cool. Reach out to us, man. My email's tim.lyons7780@gmail.com. Reach out to us. We're here. And we don't make videos every day. But if you got a story to tell, that's a good question, Lonnie. No, but I do. I was diagnosed with Tourette's when I was 10 years old. I think my tics rub off on her because she didn't used to twitch until we got together. Actually, after about a couple years of being with me, she started ticking real bad. If you know anything about Tourette's, if you go to Tourette's, if you have Tourette's and you go to a place where other people have Tourette's,
it makes yours go horribly, like
your tics notice their tics. Literally. Yeah, I have it too, Lonnie. I'm pretty good about controlling it, but when I was in high school, it was really bad. I got picked on by teachers and other kids, and I got expelled for cussing in class. Yeah. Yeah. And but the hotel clerk she's not a nurse. She didn't know for a fact that he was ODing. So we don't know. But we know the man had severe health problems and really bad heart problems.
We wanted the truth.
He had diabetes and he didn't take care of himself very well, He was losing digits and a leg and we did everything we could to help him, But
I do feel guilty sometimes because, that was my kid's dad, and I wonder if there was something else that we could have done, or even if before any of it, before we even separated, I still think back and wonder if there is something else I could have done. And it does weigh on me. But getting back to our, the whole reason for the video, to address the divide, is that we're all in this together. It's that simple. We're all in it together. You don't have to know us. You don't have to be our friend. And we don't have to know you, and we don't have to be your friend. But I'm not going to look down on you, and I don't expect people to look down on me.
Listen, I don't know about that, Carol. I don't know about that. I hope you're being sarcastic, because everything in moderation, man. But that's the problem. People don't know how to control their desires and their urges. And neither do these cops. They get pissed off. They snap. Listen, man. You gotta have more control, more self-control than that. You can't just be putting your hands on people, man. Nobody wants to have. I don't care if you are wearing a badge, or I don't care if you're the Pope. Don't put your hands on me, man. I'm a human being. I don't want another man violating me. I don't, Chili, he's obviously had some bad experiences with the police and with, the strip searching and what, me, I just drop them in cough and don't think nothing of it. But doesn't mean that it's humane. That still, it's not, it's not gross that some dudes look at. And where does a young female go to jail and a male officer strip search her? Where does that happen? Lawrence County Jail.
Wait, I don't, pick me.
Why y'all doing that? I hope I can get her to come forward and tell her story, guys. I really do. I hope I can, because I want you guys to hear it. It's freaking horrible. It's horrible what they did to that
Let me
girl.
tell y'all firsthand.
She's a good person. I know her. I've known her for a long time. She's always been a great person. She helps people.
The day they arrested us at CVS, I got through in the back of two different cruisers, two different officers, Asher and Fouch. Both officers, and Spalgeric. They held my freedom over my head. Literally told me, if you just give us his information.
Okay, Lonnie. Okay.
If you just give us his information,
okay, buddy.
You can go home. Don't let that quack get you in trouble. Don't cover for him. Just tell us his information.
Lonnie says whenever a cop pulled him over and he saw a knife beside his seat, he pushed him back with his forearm or shoulder. Come on, man. And it was okay. It was okay with you, right? All right, dude. Then you're a bootlicker. Lick the boot.
Wait.
Let him put the boot on your neck and then be okay with it. I'm not okay with that. Okay? I had an abusive childhood. I got the shit kicked out of me every day. I don't like being I don't like being handled. I don't like people putting their hands on me if I don't give them permission to. You don't have the right to put your hands on me if I don't give you permission to. You don't have the right to search my car and then go lie and say, well, we're going to just arrest her too since she's here so we can do inventory on your car. And then you don't write down one single thing that's in my car. You go through her purse, you look under my seats, all the little spots you think there might be drugs, and you call it inventory. That's still a lie. It's just gift-wrapped lie. Buddy, buddy, me too. Lonnie, me too. I don't care. I don't care what you know, man. I don't care about martial arts. I can fight too, guy. There's people in here that know me. And I don't brag. So just go on with that, man. We're talking about crooked cops people in seats of authority that are abusing their power. We're talking about all the people that have been hurt and their emotions are still bruised. They can't drive down the street without looking in their rear view and having a panic attack the first time a cop gets behind them. And until you've had that experience, then you're not going to feel that way. Back the blue till it happens to you. I'm not going to say that I'm anti-police, that I just want to see all the cops just drop over dead and there not be any cops and we can just have anarchy. And I've lived in anarchy, man. I've been to rainbow gatherings. You know, I've been out in the woods with all the hippies. Yeah, it was good for a time. But, you know, we need police, but we need good police. We need them to be held accountable when they do the horrible things that they do. They need to get the hell out. Bye-bye. Bye, Felicia. AFA, bye, Felicia. That's my dude. AFA's here, man.
Right on. Cool. And literally, I can't think of one encounter in the last 2 years that I thought for sure that, you know, I thought for sure when I went to the police station that night to get the wallet,
Shady Nation.
I thought for sure he was going to give it back. But fooled me.
Shady Nation, what are you going to do, though, man? It don't matter what you know. It don't matter. You could punch a hole in a brick wall. You hit a cop. It's all bad for you, man. And you know, the messed up part about it is that the law states that you are allowed to forcefully resist an unlawful arrest. But that they've made that impossible because they lie for each other. A supervisor comes on the scene and he don't even talk to you. He talks to the cop that's lying to him before you even get a chance to talk. And then what? You're not going to win. You're not going to win that fight. Like I said, we're not fighting with flesh and blood, man. We're fighting a spiritual battle. We're fighting against rulers and principalities. You're not going to win by hitting a cop. You're going to end up dead. That's what you're going to do. But yeah, Lonnie, that's cool, man. Cop put his forearm on Lonnie and pushed him backwards because he saw a knife. Oh my God, there's a knife! Get your face back here. Let me get this knife. If that's okay with you, cool. But seeing a knife in my car is not a reason to stick your hands in my car or come in my property. That's my property. So is that knife. You got a gun on your hip. If I got a pocket knife in my car and you're scared of that, then you need to get another job.
Yes, this system is broken. I was trying to read some of the comments on there. The system is very broken. Very broken.
That is not what I'm hearing in this whole conversation. Oh yeah, you're gone. You're gone. You hit a cop, they're gonna end up killing you. But I've never hit a cop, so I don't know. You know, I've been to prison, and I had a prison guard literally try to kill me, and then you know, after he beat me, him and his female partner beat me half senseless because I caught him in a guillotine chokehold because he punched me out of nowhere for talking. Some kid talked to me in a line. I turned around and I looked, and the CO was just eyeballing me, staring me down, started walking toward me. I said, "Hey dude, don't talk to me." He came over and started spitting in my face, yelling, "How'd you like it if I take you back to the block and slap you up?" Called me shitbag and everything, and I just took it. I was like, "Yo man, that won't happen again." Get back to the block, he comes up to my cell, tells my cellie to go to the TV room and get some out time. Him and his female partner. His female partner stood in the door, told everybody else to get out of their windows so they didn't see what they were doing. And sat there and spoke to me really calm, like he was going to have a polite conversation with me, and just backhanded me. Then grabbed me by my shirt, pulled me toward him, and was going to hit me again. I threw my arm around his head, wrapped my legs around him, and started choking him. Female cop came in, hit me in the head with one of those little leather thingies, hit me in the back of my head with it like 3 times, and I was out cold. And I woke up, my ribs were all bruised. I was beat up. He's standing over me. I smelt something funny, and I woke up, and he was standing over me, and the female partner was standing there too. And he was like, "If I come back from my vacation and I'm under investigation, you will not make it to your parent institution." And I didn't tell anybody. I had a sergeant walk up to me and ask me what happened to my face. I told him I didn't want to talk about it. He said he didn't blame me. And then about a week later, that cop came back, and I saw him paying two guys, basically giving something to two inmates, two nasty-looking fellas. And they were all staring at me and smiling, and I just knew that dude was paying somebody to kill me. So then I went 4 days without eating because I had to go up to a lieutenant in the chow hall and say, "Hey, I just watched one of your officers pay someone to kill me. I'm pretty sure." He took me in front of a captain, and the captain said, "Are you sure you want to stick with this story? You know it's going to be real bad on you from here on out. You know, you're going to have a lot more problems than this if you tell this story." And he basically told me that the State Highway Patrol investigator, that's the only one allowed to come into the prisons, is the only one that's allowed to come in, and they're buddies. They're all buddies. Nothing's going to become of it. He's already under investigation for 6 other people doing the same thing. They almost killed this one guy, this little young dude. Broke this other dude's ribs, took him to the shower and broke his ribs and beat him up real bad. Then I had 2 COs tell me that basically on that Thursday when the guy that I was sharing a cell with went home, because he went home that Thursday, they were going to come in there and kill me. So when the nurse came around, I cut my wrist in front of her with a piece of a pencil. Freaking metal piece on the eraser of a pencil, and I scratched my wrist with it so that they would think I was suicidal. And for the next 9 days, I sat in front of a camera in mental health evaluation while these 2 COs came to my window, beating on my window and flipping me off and taunting me. Because I told on one of their fellow buddies, their officers, their workout buddies. They go to the bar every weekend together. You know. That's what we're dealing with, man. It's a gang. It's a gang of dudes that look out for each other. Anybody who's ever been to prison knows that the COs are the biggest gang in there. They trump the Bloods, the Crips, all that. Because they always stick together, no matter what. I can't read the comments. But yeah, as for Lonnie, no, that's not okay, man. You don't let somebody stick their forearm against your neck and just be okay with it. Not unless you're into that sort of thing, and you like being manhandled and roughed house. But I'm not one of those people. I don't like people putting their hands on me. And if they didn't have a badge or a uniform on, I wouldn't let that happen. The people here that know me, they know that. But everybody's just bickering about petty shit. Hearsay. I've heard rumors that I know are not true. For a fact, I know for a fact they're not true. And I've got a record. I've got a criminal record. Does that mean that no one's going to listen to me? Does that mean that I still don't have the right to regress my government when they're acting a fool? None of that crap should matter. You know? People thank us. When we go to Ironton, we have people walk up to us and say, "Thanks, man. Thanks, you know."
Don't thank us.
Don't thank us, yeah.
Don't thank us.
Join us. Join us. Put petty differences aside and focus on what's important. And stop making it about that one guy that's, he's not the only one that wants to see change.
Y'all have no idea how hard it is to go anywhere over there and hold my head up. I know people talk, and I know that people whisper. I know that.
Do you know Tamora Dillon?
Tamora Dillon?
Shady Nation Gaming. I don't know who that is. Who knows me?
Is that her married name or maiden name, by the way?
Tamora Dillon. Yeah, I don't know, man.
But, anyways, you know, I have a very hard time keeping my head up, but the only reason I do and continue to do so is because I didn't do anything wrong. I didn't do anything wrong.
Phil, hey man, do what you gotta do, Phil. I mean, I'm all for the freedom of speech, but I did appoint a couple of moderators that I trust their opinion. And if you're just here to take up for these assholes, then, you know, maybe you shouldn't be here. I don't know.
Wait.
But yeah, Lonnie, you have freedom of speech, dude. You can say what you want to say. But I don't really want to hear somebody sit here and take up for the people that have literally, you know, oppressed us. Like, what else can you call it? They did us dirty, man. And they're going to continue to do us dirty. And as soon as Chile leaves the area and they don't, and someone's not in their face with a camera, they're going to start acting silly again. And the only guy that's auditing these dudes, he don't go live. And, you know, Terry's just too respectful, I think, sometimes. If that's a possibility. If you can be too respectful, I don't know. That's my opinion. We like Terry, but something's up, man. I just got this funny feeling that something's up. Like, you know, off camera type shit. And I see people fist bumping these dudes, and the reason why they're auditing them in the first place is because there's videos of them tasing people that already have their hands behind their back. Tell him I already have them behind my back. Tell him. Zzz, zzz, zzz. You take up for that guy?
Shady,
Probably not. Sounds
no,
like she don't remember
I don't.
Moving on.
Not right off, but then again, I'm better with faces, not names.
Yeah, I've seen that, AFA. I've seen that. I've seen it. and the way he acted on his last video, I wasn't too proud of him. Okay, Philip. All right, man. That's cool. Hey, you know, I can't really read everything that everybody's saying here. You know, that's why I got a couple moderators. And, I mean, if you're on here just constantly taking stabs at me, then, yeah, I implore these dudes to just boot you off, man. You know.
That's not what...
But...
You know...
I'm all for the freedom of speech, man. If you want to voice your opinion, that's fine. But don't try to shove it down my throat. And don't put me in handcuffs because I'm talking to you and trying to make sense of what's going on. That's not how we do. This is supposed to be a free country. Not, free until some guy with a badge decides he wants to throw you in a cage. And then just lie about it. And that's... It's unacceptable. It's just unacceptable.
How would you suggest to bring about actual change for our area? Oh, Miss Carolyn, it's been this way here for years, and it is going to take a minute to bring change. But I mean,
you're all worked up.
I tell you. First of all, you have to stand your ground. Stand your ground.
The only thing that's going to change these guys, and you know, I hear this word a lot, but civil litigation.
No,
because
we're not going to go.
Eventually,
and,
listen, eventually, if you file complaints after complaint after complaint, and you don't let them threaten you out of doing it, or you don't let them bullying you out of getting a complaint by saying, oh, well, what do you want it for? Who are you filing on? That's none of their business. You can file a complaint without indulging any information. File complaints. Complain. Every time you get a chance, every time a cop messes up, file a complaint on him. Because that goes on his record, and eventually he'll get demoted, you know, and he'll lose his qualified immunity. You got to do things the right way. We got to do it the legal way.
It's hard. It's hard to stand against him, but
And when you work for a living and you're not, your job isn't on the internet and this isn't what you do every day.
Keep the pressure on them. Yes.
That's exactly it.
That's exactly it.
That's the only thing you can do. Sue them. File lawsuit after lawsuit after lawsuit. They worship money. That's their God. Take it from them. If their God is money, they care so much about it. Take their money too. That's what they're taking from us. Our money, our pride, our freedom. And
they think it's funny.
It's everyday life for them.
They get enjoyment out of it. That's
some of
sick.
them do. Most of them do.
Sick.
Sick. It's disgusting. I can honestly say that most cops that arrest people enjoy it. They love it. They can't wait to do it.
High-fiving each other. Are you kidding me? Are you serious?
Sorry, guys. It's hard to read the comments. They keep just coming and going here. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But AFA, you should email me. Josh, I got a lot of questions for you as to this whole YouTube thing, and maybe you can help me out, man. I'll email me, and I'll send you my phone number, and I could use some help.
Sue understands this like I do, but you will need to add the link, please.
Anymore. Now I call animal control to report cops. Hey man, I know it's like, what good is it gonna do you? Like we called the we literally called the FBI, BCI, and it's just a joke. They're not taking it seriously. They're not gonna do anything. You just have to take it to Supreme Court, and some of them guys are shit. I'm not gonna say it, but eventually they're gonna get sick of being in court. I don't know. They might like going to court. They're so used to winning, though. It's gonna take a few hits on them for them to straighten up a little bit, and that's where we start. When there's corruption, it's so deep rooted. It's just been like this for so long. Philip Holbrook, buddy, listen. I can't really see these comments, but I want to ask you: do you remember Jim Akers? Apparently, that's James Akers' dad. Wow, he was such a shit truck. He was known for just coming on the scene and just pulling guns on people and stuff, just over hearsay, just crazy stuff. A clearly unarmed guy, you're gonna come up and put a gun in his face with an itchy finger, just dying to shoot somebody, man. These guys. And James is his son. And they put him in charge of the drug interdiction. And I remember Jimmy Akers, he was in charge of drug task force or something like that. I remember they used to go around in the projects in Ironton and just, hey, you come here, ask people questions, and just, they played so dirty. Josh from AFA says he actually reported a cop to animal control. He's a pig. Wow, dude. I mean, see, and I know there's been things that have happened to you that you got to a point where you're
sick of it.
You didn't have empathy for them anymore. Like, they're not people to you anymore because you're not a person to them. Your experiences account for most of your life, like most of the way you view things in your life. It's judged by your experiences. I know not to be around certain types of people because I've had bad experiences with those types of people. That's why every time a cop gets behind me, I start like, oh shit, well, he's going to follow me, I'm sure. I try not to get, I'm really good at controlling my nerves because I have Tourette's and I've been controlling it for a long time. But this woman almost has a panic attack when a cop gets behind us. Her hands start shaking. She has to pull over and let me drive.
I can't help it.
It's like she could pass out at the wheel because of freaking, she could faint. She gets so scared because of what the crap that they've done to her.
I'm a weenie.
And this is just the Ironton cops. We've had bad experiences with other cops. And we won't get into that because, we didn't get arrested that day. We didn't get slammed to the ground or thrown out of our, point is, it's got to stop. And if everybody's busy choosing sides. And I think the thing is that some of you people, you're not serious about change. You're just not. You don't want things to change. You want to talk about it, but you don't want to do it. And I'm not calling anybody out or anything like that, but I'm saying most of these dudes, they go on these channels where these guys are doing impersonations and acting retarded, just saying stupid crap. They're only doing it because they're leeching off of somebody else's name. Man, before Chili came around, guy was doing Pokemon videos. Now he's freaking making Chili videos, and he's got freaking 1,000 subscribers. Like, come on, man. Come on, dude. You can't say nothing because you ain't done nothing. You ain't doing nothing. And I urge the people of Ironton, if you've been wronged by the police, don't let them get away with it. Go down there and file your complaints.
File your complaint.
Complaint after complaint after complaint. That's how we get somewhere. That's a start. Because, there's a day coming where these guys are going to be unleashed on the streets, and they're just going to be able to do whatever they want.
They're already almost there.
Not quite, but yeah, if we keep letting them get away with the crap they're doing, it's just going to get to a point where it's just going to be that way. What happens if they implement martial law, I'm not going to say I don't own a gun, but I'm not going to say I do. And, for a lot of you out there, I hope you do. I hope you have a gun safe in your house, and I hope you have some weapons. And
protection, because we're going to need
it. I hope you're ready. Because when they come running up in your house with machine guns pointed at you, and they got the wrong house, I'm going to protect mine. We love you guys. I appreciate y'all stopping through. It's getting late.
I know we probably went off on about 100 different tangents, but
AFA, I appreciate you, man, and I'm serious. I'll put my email in the description, and I would really appreciate it if you got with me. I need some pointers, and everybody else watching, Philip, thanks, man. Philip, and
if anybody has any civil rights attorneys that you could recommend or refer, send that to the email as well.
Jeebus Crisp, I hope you see the error of your ways. Sadly, you're obviously a SOB citizen. No, dude.
No.
No, I'm not a SOB citizen, bro.
No, not at all.
No, not at all. Not at all. That's not the case at all, man. Now, I believe in the Constitution. If that makes me a sovereign citizen, but that's there to protect us and to protect our rights. Tashana Spencer, thank you. Appreciate you, man. Everybody, we're out of here. And for Lonnie, Guy, seems like you just want beef, man. So, call me all you want. Call me names. I don't care. I'm going to let you talk, man. Just get it out. Just seems like you don't have anything really intelligent to say. You're just here to kind of just oppose everything I say, and you're not gonna budge me on my beliefs, man. Wait till a cop yanks you out of your car. Wait till a cop pulls you over for something you know you didn't do, and then when you tell him, hey, no, that's not right, I didn't do that, then he yanks you out of your car. Wait till you ask for a cop supervisor and he slams you on the ground and puts handcuffs on behind your back. And then you go to jail and they keep you there for 3 days and tell your family you don't have a bond when you do. Just to be assholes and keep you there.
Or as a female.
I'm filing a lawsuit about that, by the way.
As a female, on your monthly, be taken into a jail and strip searched.
And told to cough 6 times, was it? 6 times?
And no undergarments, no.
Or a female taken to the jail and strip searched by a male cop, a perverted, sick, fucking excuse for a cop. A CO, probably not even allowed to carry a gun. He's just there to hurt people. He can't wait. Grab a drunk, throw him to the ground. I got to beat up a drunk today, sweetheart. I bet your wife's proud of you. You got to look up some young girl's butthole today. Y'all need to get a female officer to do that shit. that pisses me off to no end that y'all did my little sister that way, man. But guys, we're out of here. Have a good evening. Thanks for joining. Good night.